in this case, though SUÁREZ is a beauty lens, we move we modify the internal aspects of the positioning of the glass. Will air gap manipulation, what it's basically known as air gap manipulation, to reduce certain characteristics and to enhance other characteristics of the donor lens.
This is Focus Check, the weekly CineTech podcast.
Hi guys, I'm Johnnie from CineD and welcome to another episode of Focus Check. This is episode 89. Can you believe it? Soon we're going to be 100. But anyway, it's a bit too soon to talk about the 100. And today, as you can see, Nino is not here. So I'm joined by a distinguished guest and I'm talking about Peppe. Peppe, you will have to help me with your last name. This is not so easy. Peppe
Badalamenti.
Okay.
Badalamenti.
Okay. You even said it with a nice Spanish accent. So, Pepe will help me to introduce himself, but just in general, just that you know what we're going to talk about. Pepe is a filmmaker, but Pepe is also building his own lenses. He created a company, he has a passion, he has a great story behind him, and that's why I decided to expose him to the world, yeah? And I think that
Thank you, John.
hopefully whoever is watching or listening, that will serve as an inspiration, and also to know that we are not alone in this. We have really working, talented people all around us, and I'm very happy to talk to Pepe. So, Pepe, first of all, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for the invitation, Johnny. I'm really happy to be here. It feels, as I mentioned to you, I grew up on CineD. Last time we had our conversation, it woke up a lot of nostalgia in me because, I mean, when I was in film school, I used to dream, I love this 5D camera. I want it, and everything for me was a dream, as an upcoming filmmaker, as a film student, and it was like, oh, I want that camera, I want that gear, and
obviously you're talking about the Canon 5D
the
Mark
Canon.
II. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, yes, that's when I started following you. I'm talking about the days of, where Vincent Laforet was coming up, and the days where Philip Bloom was introducing this to the world. And, it was Cinema 5D was a great inspiration for me,
Thank you very much.
Because
it almost looks like eternity, it's like amazing how much time has passed. But just before we continue, I also want to say that you're actually joining us from Guatemala.
Yes, I'm joining you from Guatemala. Yes.
Where in Guatemala?
Central America. I'm in Guatemala City and the outer parts of Guatemala City called Mushbal, which is basically the suburb areas, the mountains. This is where we have our office. This is where we do some of the R&D of LVX. We're gonna get into that, and just a beautiful place with a lot of nature, which is my happy place.
Really amazing. So Guatemala City must be a lovely place. Hopefully one day I can come and visit you. But for now, you are a filmmaker, and as I said, and you're also a small lens manufacturer. But let's actually start with your personal story. You started as a filmmaker. Why did you make the jump into building or constructing or designing lenses?
Sometimes we all have to funnel our energy into a right place, right? And LVX stands for light. Is the
Spanish word.
Is the Latin word for light.
Latin
LVX.
word. Okay.
Yes. It's been a way of honoring also my Italian ancestry, Badalamenti, and also my Spanish ancestry, Suarez, and everything that has to do with my philosophical background and the things that have helped me outgrow my demons from the past, I would say. And LVX stands as a victory of my triumph over darkness. It's a personal project that represents my triumph over addiction specifically. And it's a project that has a lot of meaning for me because it's kind of like a jewel crown that represents, okay, you made it. You are on the other side, you are in the light, and that's where I started, envisioning LVX as a company, not that only produces of manufactures lenses that capture beautiful images, but helps people see the light within and see things in a different way. Because I mean, there's many good lens manufacturers out there doing an amazing job. What's the difference of LVX? I mean, the philosophical background,
we,
and
we,
it's the
yeah, we will get into this in a second.
yes.
But again, and I'm sorry, it's not that I'm
Mhm.
trying to be yellow here in any way, but
No, yeah, yeah, of course.
you mentioned addiction, and you mentioned that obviously moving into manufacturing something, and in this case, a lens, was the thing to help you out.
Mhm.
So so like one day you kind of decided that that's the thing. I mean, because we are also, many of us are filmmakers, many of us have really great ideas, but this little
Yeah.
move between making the fantasy of manufacturing something, like,
Mhm.
did you need a little push? Was there a bit of money or
No,
just inspiration?
you know what? I mean, my battle with addiction was gone, years ago, and this is was something, uh, I have the tendency to obsess over things, and this was a beautiful thing, to obsess over something and funnel my energy into creating, not destroying myself, but creating. And that's, I started with experimenting back in the days where everybody was playing with anamorphic projector lenses and variable diopters, manufacturing variable diopters, putting thing in a cylinder, playing with the machinery, and going to the machinist and trying to come up with a way of putting a taking lens and a projector lens and another block, which is the variable diopter block together. And then I started like understanding the mechanics of these things. I started creating jackets. It's not basically a rehousing, and you start creating jackets to make these things functional. You start taking lenses apart, and then you have to figure out how do you got to put them back together. You have to understand things, and then you
You,
start studying, and then you start seeing things, obviously, that wake up your imagination.
that's the story of my life. Taking apart stuff is always very easy. To assemble it back, that's the challenging part. So you did everything in the backyard or at home or where? I mean, you're talking as if it's like,
Garage. And to be clear, this is a passion of mine that started, back in the day in film school. I had a really good film professor. His name was Antonio Cuevas, and he taught me a lot about the optical structure of lenses. And I am in no way an optical engineer. I'm no way an optical um, technician expert. I am the creative director of the lens company. I do know about lens positioning to reduce acutens, to create certain effects, to create more pronounced fall off on the edges. And I know all this basis because I work on the projector room with the technicians, and I lead how to uh, get to the different formulas based on my personal liking and my personal taste.
and as you highlighted, so you opened the company by the name LVX, which is in Latin is light. When I think about a company, is it a one-man band company? Is it something a bit larger? Or just to define a little bit what space are we now?
Well, I mean, it's it's more like an atelier. It's more like a studio, like a boutique, I would say. Calling ourselves like a company would be like, yeah, that's it's a humble beginning. It's a humble beginning. I have a business partner. He's the partner that I also shares with me the work in the production company. We have a production company here in Central America. We work locally, and yeah, it's basically we have ideas, we have certain projects, we come up with ideas, and then we take them to from the drawing board to the manufacturing room, which is basically all led by Latin American people in Los Angeles. We moved fully the operation to Los Angeles, so it's something that is shared between Guatemala and Los Angeles.
Okay, so basically, the company exists for how long now?
It's been a little bit more than 2 years, but my personal journey with the lens manufacturing and playing started around 2017.
Okay,
Yeah.
so where are you now in terms of working with lenses? Because what I want to understand, if you're only doing the housing or you're also taking care of the optics, and if not, and if yes, where do you get the glass from?
Well, I basically work with existing donor lenses. I work with lens that I like, glass that I like. My last collection, my latest collection, which is SUÁREZ, is based on the Canon Samir. Previously to that was Tokina Vista, and there is a certain way on optical reengineering, because you have to play with coatings, you have to change certain things. You get to a place where you are actually modifying the characteristics of the optics to achieve a certain look. But yeah, we are also experimenting with all other types of optics. We are also developing our new collection, which is very beautiful, and it's all basically grabbing a base look that we like and moving on from there based on different ideas that we have that match the the focus of the set, because um, we moved the company into a more philosophical direction and into a more altruistic direction. So we designed the lenses based on their meaning and who's going to benefit from the help, which is the transition we have talked about.
Okay, we're going to talk about this because that's an interesting topic by itself. But just to talk
Yeah.
about the glass itself. So you said that your latest collection, the Suarez, is based on the Canon Sumire lenses. So either people will send you the Sumire lenses, or I don't know if you have a few, like a set that you bought. Then what do you do then?
Well, basically, we take them apart. We uncoat what we have to uncoat. We polish what we have to polish. We work with the coatings of what we have to work. And then we develop basically the prescription to achieve the reduction of accutans. In this case, though Suarez is a beauty lens, we move we modify the internal aspects of the positioning of the glass. Well, air gap manipulation, what it's basically known as air gap manipulation, to reduce certain characteristics and to enhance other characteristics of the donor lens. And the Sumire was a beautiful starting point because Canon makes amazing glass. I've always been a fan of Canon. And basically what we had to do was, how do we do a lens that is both a beauty lens, that creates soft images, that is cosmetic, that reduces the imperfections of the skins, and even even very, very, imperfect skins that are, I see everybody as beautiful. How do you capture them and make them look more beautiful? So this was the idea, and to develop a prescription that wouldn't distract anyone. So no crazy fall off, no crazy optical tricking that drives away the attention, but only focus on beauty.
Okay, very nice. Very nice. You know, Pepe, while you describing the Suarez lenses, I'm running in the background the short film that you made. Maybe you want to quickly, because I think it's a short one, it's like 2.5 minutes. Maybe you want to quickly highlight what was this film all about?
Well, it's basically this happened while I was releasing the lenses while everything was crazy with the ICE situation in Los Angeles and the LA riots. I always wear an LA hat. I support my LA community. I have a lot of friends there, and we have the shop there. We're all Latin Americans, and it's really just a hard situation. And we wanted to talk about migration because, I mean, at a point we're all migrants. Either our father migrated, our grandfather. It's kind of like chasing that dumb idea, or question what came first, the chicken or the egg. It's like, yeah, we all came from a certain place at a certain moment. We're all coming from that first migrant, right? So uh, the idea was basically to empower the migrant through a beautiful short film that was a manifesto that would actually uh, give strength to people and dignity. And this is what about is the strength of the Suarez collection, because a lot of the meaning of this collection is basically well, inspired by my mother and this motherly love to take care of people, and that's where also the altruistic mission of the lens collection Suarez comes in, which is basically very tied in also with the short film.
Okay, just a quick note, because I want to elaborate a little bit about the short film. So you were the DOP for this one?
I co-directed the cinematography, yes, with my friend Jairo Cruz. Yes,
Okay.
also
And that
known
wa-
as 70 mil.
And that was
Yes.
shot on what camera?
It was the Red Raptor.
Where did you shoot it, location-wise?
Completely in Los Angeles and the outskirts of Los Angeles desert, and Los Angeles City.
And again,
Yes,
because I want to emphasize, the lenses that you use are your Suarez lenses, meaning the lenses that
completely.
you actually took, or like based on the Canon lenses. That's so it's your
Yes,
coating and everything.
yes. Baptized that day, and we inaugurated. That was the debut. We actually, we took him out, and that was the celebration. It's like, this babies are ready. Let's go shoot with them.
Just for those who
Uh,
might be interested, and we will talk because you have a very straightforward philosophy. At the end of the day, you have to compete. I mean, you have to earn money and you have to compete. The huge amount of manufacturers out there. Um, so, if somebody how do you treat it business wise? Somebody he saw the movie now or heard about it and he said, I want those lenses. What is the next step?
well, I believe the people who invest in LVX invest in the philosophy of LVX, because there's many talented people who are doing lenses, indie companies also doing rehousing, doing mods. There's a lot of people doing beautiful work, which I deeply respect. Um, and I think people who invest in LVX believe in the philosophy of LVX, because every project now benefits a social cause. For example, the Aurora collection. This was basically my first lens. The 50 mil was actually the first lens to be developed. This was the first LVX lens here.
But that's based on the Tokina.
Yes.
Okay.
And basically, this lens now goes to benefit everything that it does, from rents or sales. The Aurora collection now benefits um, a place, a care home for the elderly here in Guatemala. That is
Oh.
basically a place that is very dear to us, because we have people from our crew that have their grandmas there, and it's, we actually like the idea of always serving. Even in the production company, we always have a margin, and we tell our clients, is like, yeah, this that you're doing, this part is gonna go help these people. We also donate the clothes of what we do and the productions, because, I mean, there's people that need them more. We use them and then we donate them, and that's kind of like the philosophy. We are basically partnering. I wouldn't say people become my clients. They become partners in a philosophy because we're helping people. We're helping people. Suarez Collections is a beautiful collection that helps children who are born in jails in Guatemala. Many of them migrant women that are unjustly incarcerated here in Guatemala, children who are born in jails within the Guatemalan jail system and don't get proper government support. And these children need assistance from age 0 to 4. And this is the way we help.
So
This
you
is a
mean
beautiful
so you mean that percentage from whoever buy the lens or
yes,
ask your service to rehouse the lens and recoat the lens, percentage
yes,
of what you earn goes to those kids.
exactly, exactly. And if somebody doesn't want to buy the lenses but wants to support, we have also a platform where they can donate the money, you know? So um, this is where we differentiate ourselves. Yes, we need money like everybody to survive and to, keep going in life. We have children, we have family, but for us it's more important to live from a spiritual place, to stand for something. And as Plato said, one who doesn't stand for something will fall for anything, right? So for us it's very important to carry this philosophical, altruistic and spiritual mission, not only the production company but also in the lens company, and this be the basis of why people choose to work with us, not only for the talent, not only because we produce cool images, uh, but because the lenses are something beside a lens. They represent a view on how to view the world with a kinder heart, an optical talisman to transform consciousness, to put it
Y-
into better words.
You know, Pepe, I mean, I have to say, I really admire this initiative. I mean, obviously, we see huge companies, much bigger than what you represent right now. And I'm not so sure, unless they do it in a very hidden way, that they try to help society in any way. I mean, and again, I'm of course I'm generalizing right now, but
Mhm.
it's nice that you decided to take a different path, and I think it's a very genius way to try to compete the bigger sharks out there. What I can promise is the next time that we meet with Canon representatives, to at least
True.
to show them what you do with your lenses, also to explain to them the initiative. And I mean, in this regards, I'm talking about Canon because those are the lenses you are using, and who knows where it can take us. But of course, maybe it's worth also mentioning to other companies that we are in contact with and see if anyone is willing to pick up the glove and work together on such initiatives. But from what you told me, you're not ending here. You actually want to move
No,
even forward with your next collection. So first of all, tell me about what is the next collection or the initiative, and then we will try to connect it with your philanthropy or the way that
yes,
you want to support the
yes.
society.
Well, the next collection is dedicated to the mental wellness in the film industry. It's dedicated for our colleagues, people who suffer, who actually go into addiction because of high stress, high levels of pressure, of working, economic. Some people who are overworked and underpaid, long hours, a lot of stress. People who are mistreated, people who are even abused verbally in work, and just kind of like, the film industry can be a nasty place, and we all know it. And there's no, you know we have to talk about the things that are not right either. And yeah, making movies is amazing, but we don't live in a movie. That's the result, and how we get there sometimes is not the most beautiful process. And based on the things that actually hurt me and hurt people around me, that took me to the wrong path because of pressure, because of a lot of things, I decided to dedicate this next collection to develop a program to help people emotionally, stabilize mentally in a way, to develop a platform that can help them with nutrition, with meditation, help them in any way, to basically outgrow their problems. It's not a platform that promises any cure, because we can't get into the medical aspects. We always advise people to get into the to seek professional advice. But it's a community place where people can talk, can gather, feel support, and also have coping tools that are gonna make their life more better at managing stress, anxiety, depression, and all the things we know.
You know, Pepe, that might align perfectly with a project that we almost started. I mean, I have to say that we already had a very reputable camera manufacturer almost behind us to produce 3-part kind of documentary series about mind, body, and soul, and with every part to deal with the stress that we all know, because either there's too much work or not enough work. We're all being fed in productions not so well. And of course, the way we treat our body, sometimes things are extremely heavy or lying on one shoulder, eye in the viewfinder, and so on. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about here. And listening to you, maybe we should align at some early point, after this call, and see if we can do something together. Hopefully it will work. Of course, it has to. We have to make sure that works well for both companies, and the timeline is correct. But very interesting initiative. But you also said, and I'm sorry,
it would be amazing. It would be amazing to team up.
Absolutely.
Who better than the trusted CineD community and to do this.
Thank you.
And yeah.
Thank you. But I just want to move just for a very short time from the community thing into the technical thing. I know it's sometimes really, really hard, and maybe it's not even really appropriate, because you're talking about the important stuff, and I'm trying to drag you to the less important stuff. But just that we get the overall picture. When you talked about the next lens collection, do you know already what you're going to base it on? Like what lenses or what it's going to be exactly?
It's a mix. It's a mix of things.
Okay.
And this one, I'm not saying. It's a mix of things. Yes.
Okay. We're going to keep something for next time then.
Yeah, it's a mix of things. And sometimes you can't say everything. I mean, sometimes you have to keep things to yourself, because you have to be jealous and have to protect your recipes. And we have something really special in our hands. And yeah, I'm guarding this one with my heart.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very interesting.
Yeah. But it's a beautiful image. It's a research image. It's something that we have been working on for quite a while. And I think a lot of people are going to be really happy with it. And that's all I can say,
But again, it's going to be produced in a it's almost like a custom build, I guess. No, it's with your resources right now, it's really like a boutique or niche thing. You will not be able to
Yes, we always work with existing glass. It's not like, and there's who are the glass manufacturers, even a lot of the renowned companies that we think make their own glass, buy glass from other people. And that's kind of like how the industry works. It's not like it is like that. It's the reality of the industry. I'm not going to go into details of that, but we all, buy certain blocks from somebody else, and that's how we all move. There's developers in China, there's developers in Japan, and there's people who buy certain optical blocks from somebody, and and that's it. That's how the industry works. And obviously I do it in a much more boutique, intimate scale, based on just my personal preferences and ideas, and I develop with the technician team all the aspects of re-engineering the coatings, and working around and developing the prescriptions, and working internally what I have to work to achieve the image that I like. And this one, I would say, we call it what's in their engineering process. I would say it's an optical blend. That's it. Optical blend.
Sounds like a good Guatemalan coffee, actually, a blend of beans that will, Out of curiosity, if a manufacturer, let's say a reputable manufacturer, will approach you and ask you to assist with different recipes, lens coating recipes, will you accept the offer?
Of course. And I'm here to help anyone who wants to join, for example, and has a local cause and has some community work that wants to help, or, just hire me or the lens company to work, in any way. We're here to work as a community. We're not based in egocentric ideals of LVX is a company that only women. No, we like community. We like collaboration. If there's a lens manufacturer, for example, that Pepe, come here. Let's do something, a collaboration between LVX and this lens manufacturer. Let's create something awesome, and let's set something aside for this charity, or whatever. I'm happy to discuss. I'm happy to collaborate. I like to create. I like to join forces. And this is part of the message of LVX. Let's stand together. Let's stand
Okay,
together.
very nice.
Together we can make something better.
Pepe, so yeah, that will be a bit of a shorter episode than normal. But if there's anything else that you want to highlight, I'm very happy to hear. Unless I missed something or something either from your current company history or your own perspective. Obviously, you are really emphasizes the collaboration and the social aspect of your work. But if I missed something, now that's the right time.
We are always, if people want to try our lenses, there's ways to always create a digital booking, to create a digital testing based on the specifications of how they want to test it, and we can get somebody to basically have testing room dedicated in the way they want it. We can direct the testing room. We can set it up the way they want it, and so they try the lenses through a streaming manner, and then get the footage via drive, or the lenses, if it's a production company or a rental house that wants to test them out through a COI, they can get the lenses via CSLA in Los Angeles, and we can ship them, or they can go test physically in CSLA in Los Angeles. We have currently our collections in CSLA in Los Angeles for rentals. There's also lenses in Europe. We can also work through No Drama in Europe, and you can contact them. And we also have the people of CineGear in
Holland, Netherlands.
Yes. So we have a lot of people around that can help out with the people to get the glass. And yeah, we can either book it in a digital way, or we can book the testings and in a physical way. That's what I would say.
Okay, good. Pepe, it was really a great pleasure talking to you. It's very nice and refreshing to hear about someone who is building a company, but next to it also thinking about the social aspects, and somebody who find a way how to combat. I'm using a bit of a military word, combat, but I mean it's the lens scene became so crowded. I mean, if we would have talked 2-3 years ago, it wouldn't have been like this. But now it's crazy. It's like literally, I'm waking up in the morning. I'm waiting for my mom to call me and say, "Johnny, I'm now making lenses." That's how it feels. That everybody and their moms are making lenses, basically.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see that you, within this crowded market, you are trying to find a niche and how to do something a little bit different. Good.
Thank you, Johnny.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for the
very much.
space.
Of course,
All
of course, you deserve it. You're building everything with your own hands, and you are. I'm sure you're an inspiration for many. Okay.
Thank you very much, and all right,
welcome.
take care. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, of course, you can find us in all the different platforms, and also in YouTube, of course. And just be good, feel well, and we will see you next week. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.